Hey guys, welcome back to the Nioh 2 Alpha demo. Today I'd like to tell you a little bit about the three yokai shift types that we have gotten to know so far, so our guardian spirits and soul cores. First of all, we have apparently at the moment three different types of yokai shifts or guardian spirits. The first one is the one on the screen right now, Makami, which represents the brute guardian spirit types, which are the red ones. They are characterized by high attack modifiers and low defense modifiers. The second type are the yellow ones, Amenamitori, which are called feral guardian spirits or shift types. They are mainly balanced, as far as I can see. They rely mostly on dex and courage for skills. The next type that we have are the blue ones, called Kagewani in this case. These have lower attack modifiers and higher defense modifiers, so better for the tanky kinds of ones, and they are the phantom guardian spirits, or the phantom type guardian spirits. We'll be starting off with Makami, so brute force. We will be going chronologically this time, so I'll try and show off a couple of things about this type of guardian spirit, like the transformation, the attacks, and whatever else I can think of. So, first of all, the actual transformation. Here we go. Still done triangle and circle, same as guardian spirit. There we are. So look at the nice big club that we have. Red color scheme looks pretty brute force, right? So first of all, a couple of regular. Weak attack, we can switch stances, but I haven't noticed that doing anything about attack power or anything else. So, a couple of light attacks strung together. From the back too. Now a couple of strong attacks. Strong attacks don't seem to be chaining yet. Maybe I just don't have the skill yet. That's also possible. Then we can, of course, gather Amrita, and we enlarge our club into a big hammer, with which we can counter enemies, which is pretty cool. Now from the back for a different kind of angle. We can, of course, also release our guardian spirit. That's done by pressing the combination again, triangle and circle. There we go. So we just release the spirit for a bit of elemental attack. And let's get a couple of Amrita just in case. And there it is. Another thing that is, or seems to be kind of new to these kinds of transformations is special attacks. All types of yokai shifts now have special skills. The brute type has one that so far is called the Fang Break skill, which basically serves to repel an enemy's attack and then heavily stagger him. Oh, I'm very bad at that, so oh boy. I'll try and do it. You basically do it by pressing L1 and triangle at the same time while you are being attacked, and you do that at the right time too. Let's see if I can get one in. That now. No. No. Yes, that was one. So you can see that he was instantly out of key. That's basically how that works. We can guard too, of course. That's how it looks when we're guarding. We can dash. But I think that's about it. I can show you for the brute form for the moment. So, yeah. You can try and switch stances again, but that's not going to do anything. So I suppose we'll just sheath our weapon and get out. And then Um, yeah, I guess gathering some Amrita might not be too bad. Let's do that. Let's get some and then go back to the shrine to switch to our second type, the Feral Guardians. Let's see, I'm gonna be 30. There he is. Alright. Let's get out. I guess we need to get some more Amrita. Here we are. And this is what the transformation looks like. Here we have our Thunderbird. And you can see we look a lot more live than the brute form. We seem to be floating a bit more. We're basically bluish. We have dual blades. Yeah, it looks pretty light at the same time. So, a couple of light attacks. Very acrobatic. The dash is the heavy attack, which is basically the only way that we can chain that. We can also gather Amrita, which looks like this. Pretty nice. Our blades lengthen, and then we dash forward and attack our enemy with that. We can unleash our Guardian Spirit again, which looks like that. So it does lightning damage, I believe, in this case. And this one also has certain skills, and they are called Shadow Step and Shadow Stab. Shadow Step is basically to dodge and then do a quick attack at the same time. And Shadow Stab would be dodge and quick attack and then doing another attack. I'll see if I can do that. I'm not sure if it's gonna work on this little guy. Oh, I'm very bad against ninjas today. So you saw that shadow outline form there, that was the Shadow Stab. When you do that and attack, there that was the Shadow Stab. So a nice little thing. Let's try that again. Yes. There it is. So you basically go through them, you leave behind your shadow, and it looks really nice. A very, very quick Guardian Spirit type, or Yokai Shift type. This is the guarding stance, holding our two blades out like crosses. But I guess that's all for this one. So let's end this Yokai Shift and then move on to the last one. Alright, let's switch. And for the last one, we will switch to the Yokai Shift type Phantom, which is, in this case, Kagewen. Low strength, high defense. Let's get some more Amrita. Alright, and then we transform. Here we go. Ooh, don't we look nice? This definitely looks phantomy, doesn't it? A sort of twin blade, a very insubstantial kind of body. You see, we don't really have any arms. We're wearing the kitsune mask, which is also pretty neat. It's very flowy. We don't even stand on the ground. I guess we don't need to do that. Alright, so this is how we guard, by the way. I guess we don't need to guard. We're superior beings now. We don't need to guard. Alright, for the light attack, we throw around our twin blade, our staff. Chaining is basically just throwing it multiple times. The strong attack. Don't seem much different here. This seems to be the only one that has multiple attacks for the strong attack one. Let's get some more Amrita. And then I can show you how we gather that, because that's very spectacular in this form. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? This is so purple and magic-y, and whoa. And we now have a huge wheel instead of twin blade. It's multiple hands too. I guess we're running like 4 or 6 hands. Neat, why not? You can always use an extra pair of hands. At least I always can. I guess that's good. And we can, of course, release our Guardian Spirit again. This is what this looks like. Water damage, I would suppose. So lower defense. And it looks icy too, but I don't think it does ice. Does it? This one has very peculiar special skills. They're called Blood Moon Yin and Yang. Yin is basically aiming with L2 and then shooting or throwing with R2. So you can see it like that. It works pretty much like the bow and arrow. Instead of an arrow, we throw our lance or our twin blade. And Yang is basically, while doing one type of attack, quickly do the other type. So press the attack buttons very quickly after one another, and then you will do a very quick collection of attacks. We can try that out on these small guys. I'm not sure how well that works. And you can see it's pretty fast, but these are just kind of too small to really show that off very well, I guess. But I suppose that's about all for this type, so let's end this transformation here as well. And then I guess I can show you a couple of things about soul cores, or at least I can try to do so. Alright, let's move to our Guardian Spirit menu, and then we see what's new. So, we equip our Guardian Spirit again, and you can see below the info for the Guardian Spirit, you actually see 2 additional slots, which are right now filled with Nioh Soul Core and Kappa Soul Core. These are additional skills, basically, that you can equip. Soul Cores are actually remnants of enemies that you beat. Almost all enemies, including bosses, can drop Soul Cores. Each Soul Core is associated with one skill, which is basically a skill that the enemy had. Right. In this case, we have the Fire Twister skill, and below for the Kappa Soul Core, we have the Indestructible Shell skill. How many Soul Cores you can attune is currently limited by the attunement limit. Each Soul Core has a certain attunement cost, in this case 9, and I have an attunement limit of 14, so I will basically have to pick 2 cores which together add up to 14 or less. I assume that we will be able to do a bit more once the final version is actually out, but yeah, that's we're still in the alpha version, so I suppose we should leave some room for what might happen. I'll put a video to show you how the skill works. The Soul Cores also have certain special effects like armor and everything. You can see it changes with each Soul Core. So do the stats, so they have certain attack and defense and Soul Core rank stats, by the way, which increase once you use the Soul Cores more. And they also have different levels, so the higher the level, of course, the stronger the core in itself. And as I said, you can basically pick up Soul Cores from every enemy that you fight. I have yet to see an enemy which does not drop them. I haven't had them from human enemies, to be sure, but even even bosses drop them. The Anenra one is a boss core. And what I've noticed so far is that we have different types of Soul Cores. So far I have seen 3 types. I have the purple ones, which you can see here, the red ones, and the blue ones. And so far, I can only speculate that the purple ones seem to be doing some sort of combination of elemental damage and melee damage. I'm not entirely sure. They seem to be boss cores mostly, and some special types of enemies. Yeah. The red ones seem to be doing mostly, if not exclusively, melee damage, like basically brute force, I suppose, if you could say it like that. And the blue ones are mostly defense or stat-inducing. For example, if we look at which core will we look at? Let's look at the Nioh Soul Core. We have Petrifying Gaze. So basically, if you look at the little video here, we have a skill from the enemy that actually petrifies you, or staggers, stuns you, not staggers, stuns you. So that seems to be based on that as well. And of course, as I said, every soul core only has one skill associated with it, which you can actually use that. Great potential for builds, for different builds. You can do a lot with that, but let's try how they work. So basically what you want to do is you want to fill up those little items next to your guardian spirit. Yeah, so that basically the outline of the item is sort of pulsating. Once it pulsates, almost like the guardian spirit one, then the gauge is full and you can use them. You can actually easily refill these gauges. They do so automatically when you beat enemies, or when you pet one of those little cats that hide all around. So let's get some Amrita and then try how these things actually work. The button combination for this is actually holding R2 and then pressing whichever of the attack buttons you need, so either triangle or square. Triangle is for the upper one, as you can see. I'm pressing R2 right now, and square is for the lower one. So press R2 plus one of these buttons and you get the attack that corresponds to it. Let's start with the attack window. I think it would be fun if I showed you like that. So let's get as an enemy. Let's get as the skeleton warrior. Why not? And then R2 and triangle, and here we go. This is one of the skills. Oh my god, I'm actually being damaged by this guy. Alright, that's one of the skills. Then let's also show off the other one just for info. And we press that and we get a cute little copper shell. Isn't that nice? Basically for defense purposes. Didn't help me there. But yeah, so we have a copper shell, and that stays there until the little stat icon below R3 bars runs out. So more for some skills and less for others, but yeah, it just runs out. For some skills, unfortunately. So, yeah, I suppose that's all I can show you for now about the yokai shift, guardian spirits, and the skill cores, the yokai skills. I can't think of anything else. I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's lots I'm missing. I'm sure others have made much better videos about this than me. But I thank you anyway for staying with me, for sticking with me, listening to my scratchy, cold influenced voice, and sticking with me. So thanks a lot. Maybe I'll see you again in another video. Bye bye.